Hello, everyone, and welcome to this introduction to the topic, the Divine Feminine. And I want to thank and acknowledge my queen, Melissa, and my sisters, Jackie and Myra, who started the program, The Divine Feminine, on the Block Party, which normally runs from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time every Friday morning. It's on a pause at the moment, given all the hard stuff that's going on out there in the world. And but that'll resume hopefully soon. But anyway, that's just to give some kind of full disclosure that we're actually doing this as a program called the Divine Feminine. And it's really theirs to describe, so I won't really go there so much. That's more just a full disclosure. I just want to talk about how, for me, just as a man, I've been impacted by really embracing the Divine Feminine in the conversations that we have. So I'll just give one anecdotal example. So last Friday, we were having an organizational meeting around scheduling and calendaring and who does what and who's responsible for what and all that. So we kick off the meeting and I kind of default into this pattern of, okay, let's talk about the agenda, let's jump right in. But it didn't quite feel right. And my Divine Feminine sisters in the meeting really were just such an inspiration toward getting us all to a place of love and joy and connection and laughter, from which place everything just flowed. And it's so simple. And so the way I describe that moment is that's the moment when the Lovolutionaries of the Lovolution took over the board, so to speak, this virtual board of the conversation, speaking of the conversation.cc. So anyway, and in so many ways, we've really been embracing and honoring the Divine Feminine throughout the conversational domain, which I think is absolutely crucial. Having grown up, most of my growing up in the patriarchal society of the United States, I've also grown up. 6 of my very formative years were in Spain and Mexico. And in fact, Mexican culture is my culture of choice. That's my main default culture. And Mexican culture is a matriarchal culture. And Mexico's never gone to war with another country. Mexico doesn't go around invading other countries, right? And in fact, it just has a whole different relationship to any kind of international threat of any kind. I remember one time during, this long, protracted Cold War with Cuba, that one time a high up American diplomat, may have even been the president, asked the president of Mexico to make some kind of public statement that, Cuba was this imminent threat to Mexican national security. And the president of Mexico responded very politely, said, listen, if I were to make that kind of statement, 10 million Mexicans would die laughing, right? So, I mean, in a matriarchal society where you have peacemaking built into the culture, right? Now you say, well, what about, criminal drug cartels? That is something that impacts all cultures and all countries to varying degrees. Mexico happened to be sandwiched in between the biggest coke producing, ganja producing, poppy producing regions in the world and the biggest market. So, and anyway, I could go on and on about the history, but the bottom line is, for me, the Divine Feminine, from Mexican culture to the Tioxpe system, where it's women-led of the Lakota First Nation, for me, the most successful societies in terms of like the Lakota First Nation is just a perfect example. They have the worldview of being caretakers and a part of nature, a part of Mother Earth, not separate. And that is totally consistent with their maternal form of governance and culture. And so the return to the divine feminine for me is something absolutely crucial. I just want to give a humble male's perspective who's a passionate student and practitioner to the extent I can. I mean, we all have divine feminine and sacred masculine within us, each of us. And anyway, I just wanted to share that and look forward to seeing everyone in the conversation on the divine feminine. Thank you so much.